And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. Today is Monday. Last I looked, it's October 13th, 2025. Hope you had a good weekend. Lots to cover. Serious talk on everything that affects you. We'll do markets, but markets pale in comparison to what's happening in world events. We will do those world events. We'll do the economy, your job, your industry, and anything else that comes to mind that we believe matters big time to you. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. Also on our X feed. And if you don't follow us on X, you should. And if you'd like to email us, just be nice. It will also be on BizTV, YouTube channel, as well as the podcast apps. 52 years ago today. 52 years ago today. I can't believe I'm even saying that. I was bar mitzvahed. I remember the first 3 lines of my Haftorah still. After that, I don't remember a thing. October 13th, 1973. Yes, your handsome and buff toast was bar mitzvahed. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we believe world events do matter to the markets and the economy, but sometimes maybe not. And some things are near and dear to me. I must say to you, honestly, if the release of hostages were not Jewish, I would still be applauding. But as a big Jew and a big supporter of Israel, as well as a big defender of the bullcrap being spewed by the many and the lies about Israel, I tend to take it to heart and have to do my own speech on it. First off, let me state for the record, as you know, we call balls and strikes here. We are not in anybody's tank. We do not sit here and love somebody when you should not, or hate when you should not. We believe President Trump is not perfect. We believe that there's certain things we are not happy with, but I must tell you, if I saw him today, he gets a big, gigantic Gary Kaltbaum hug and a kiss on both his cheeks. Let me give you a few facts and then a few thoughts. Number one, we had said to you, and now it's come to fruition because we're pretty smart at this, even though we are under the radar. We do not have millions of followers. Maybe we should. We have told you for a very long time the happiest people are the governments of the Arab nations right now. They're so happy, but they still have to be careful about what they say and how they say it. But they are thrilled because many years ago they decided enough. We do not want war. We do not want terrorism. We've had enough of it. We can't take it anymore. We want peace and we want prosperity. The Middle East has been too much of a powder keg for too long, and they kept a blind eye to ISIS and all these other schmucks, all these other murderers and animals. And we know this by fact. Go visit Saudi Arabia right now, who, by the way, who has been blamed for the death of a journalist. What is it? I think it's maybe a decade ago. Now, Saudi Arabia is run with somewhat of an iron hand, but less so in recent years. And they're going into peace and prosperity and growth and wealth. Though, again, it is not what we call a democracy. The United Arab Emirates. I have not been to Saudi Arabia, by the way, but I've been to United Arab Emirates. I could not believe what I saw. I had no idea. I had an idea, but wow. Egypt. They've had enough. Do you know Egypt? Go Google Egypt's border wall. It's not a wall. It's a wall, it's a fence, and massive amounts of barbed wire. Yeah, not the normal barbed wire, but the ones that would really cut you to ribbons. Do you know who was at the ceremony today? The Arab nations. The ceremony for what they hope for is complete peace. They hate Hamas. They want Hamas eradicated. Israel did the job for them as much as they could. So well done, President Trump, leading the way. It's not over yet because, in case you don't know, these terrorists are murderers, rapists, kidnappers. The reason why finally it came to this is because behind the doors, they have been told, we're done with you. You're on your own. Go screw. Even the terror-loving and inducing Iran had backed away. Israel neutered Hezbollah to the north, Hamas to the south, Jordan's to the east, who is one of those friends, though they had to speak up about supposedly what Israel was doing. Now, as we have also said to you, why does this matter? Because peace is great. More countries with peace that would turn into an Israel is great news. As we have stated to you, Israel is a sliver of land against the sea that had terror to the north, terror to the south, who knows to the east. And you know what they did? They went to work and built a dynamic economy of startup after startup of medical breakthroughs and technological advancements. You drive the highways and you have these big buildings with the greatest corporations with their names on top of the buildings. And then there's the bullcrap. As we have said to you, it's tic-tac-toe to even debate people on any of this because they are either lying, and boy, they're good at lying because there's plenty of them that know, and then there are people that are just morons and ignorant and just believe anything that's said. There is no apartheid in Israel. It is the opposite. You know how they say tolerant of? It's not about tolerance. Israel just believes in everybody. As long as you're in the rule of law, we don't care. Go about your religion, whatever you want. That's Israel. No apartheid. There's no occupation. Israel left Gaza in 2005. And of course, the crooks and the terrorists plundered all that money and turned it into whatever. Israel had nothing to do with it. If Israel's guilty of anything, yes, they have done some settling of some land that others say is not theirs, but small swaths of land. But there's no occupation. There's no apartheid. And as we have told you, we're always weirded out when we see gays say we like Hamas and Israel is bad. Israel, it's not about accepting gay. Israel just let it be. Hamas would murder you. But who knows? That's where the tic-tac-toe comes in. So we love the fact that the president has led these other countries to get in front of the camera and completely and totally back this peace plan. And I can tell you this, I'm no Schwarzkopf, but Hamas is neutered. They may try something. It'll be pinprickish. If they do something stupid, forget about it. And they'll move forward. You know what Israel's going to do? If the people in Gaza allow and do not side with Hamas, wait till you see them build up Gaza again. Up next, we'll put a bow tie on it, and then lots of markets today, kids. Lots of markets. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. So, you can decide for yourself. You can investigate for yourself, or maybe it doesn't even matter to you. All the talk about Israel is a lie. That day it's an occupation, it's apartheid, genocide, it's all a lie. The numbers out of Gaza are a lie. And unfortunately, the media absolutely sucks. The Red Cross sucks. The United Nations sucks. The women's organizations suck that have never said anything about all the women raped. By the way, not one woman hostage was returned alive. They all suck. CNN puts out a report today. Hostages are being traded for hostages. No. The Palestinians that are being released were terrorists, known murderers and terrorists. You got that? Then they had some schmuck on MSNBC this morning. I woke up at 4 a.m. because I wanted to watch everything, saying Israel allowed October 7th, and they're going to have to investigate allowing it to happen. Up yours, buddy. So the media, where they came to hate this wonderful democracy of Israel, is beyond us, and we don't care, because when all is said and done, we're going to go back to work. Israel is going to go back to doing what they do great. And by the way, we forgot to mention the people of Israel. The most peace-loving, family-loving, religious people on this planet. That they would move heaven the earth to help the bad guys if they could. That's who they are, in case you did not know. If you ever visited Israel, you would find this out within a couple of hours. Because if you go to Old Jerusalem, where you have all these businesses in stalls, you have the Muslim quarter, the Jewish quarter, and this moron, I forgot her name. I'm not even going to mention somebody. I think she got 7 million followers saying, you see, there's racism. No. That's just what they call it. But I walked through the where they were working, and you know what? I saw every race, creed, colored denomination. You know what they were doing? Sitting down, playing checkers and chess, eating lunch together. I talked to all of them. Yeah, they know what they said? What are you talking about? They're all full of crap. I question people. Go visit it. It's an amazing place. And by the way, quite safe. And even more safe now. And by the way, while there are a lot of Palestinians that on video celebrated October 7th, I can tell you a lot of Palestinians hate Hamas. And here's the next Gary prediction. Mark this down, and is unfortunate, but this is the big Gary prediction going forward. Hamas is now going to murder and execute in droves anyone and everyone in Gaza that dares, disagrees, talks out against, believed to be against. You're going to see a civil war in Gaza, unfortunately. Remember, they're murderers, they're terrorists, they're animals. They treat women like the crap in your below your shoe after you stepped in the dog crap. That's what they do. And I gather good people are not going to stand for it, and unfortunately, they will be murdered. There has already been video of executions already there, and unfortunately, as usual, the media is not reporting it because the media sucks. I want you to remember all this. They only care about what kind of an agenda they will drive. You have to remember this. And unfortunately, the same goes for politics, but I understand that part. Only one Democrat has stood up, Fetterman, to compliment the president on what just occurred. The rest of them said, oh, we're happy this happened, and never mentioned the president. I understand that. I get it. You give him credit. That's too good of marketing for the next election. But I just wanted to let you know the thoughts, the truths, and don't believe me, figure it out for yourself. They have yet to return the hostages that passed away. Unfortunately, we don't know what's going to come of that. But this chapter, and I use that word lightly, looks to be over or close to over. And let's hope peace prevails. And as Benjamin Netanyahu once said, if the terrorists drop their arms, there'll be peace throughout the land. If Israel dropped their arms, they would be disintegrated in a nanosecond. I am paraphrasing. And we move on. And of course, we invite your opinions. I gather not everybody agrees, but before you disagree, come with some facts. The markets. Yes, we segue right to the markets. On Friday, for lack of a better word, markets were melting down. They were getting squashed. The numbers were, and I'm approximating because I don't have it in front of me, the Dow and the NASDAQ were down like 850. I think one was down 860, the other one was down 820 or 830. Percentage-wise, don't sound like a lot, but when you look at the patterns we look at and say, oh my goodness, the transports, good night, Irene. Oh, the regional banks, holy crap, they're done. The airlines, the cruise lines, the hotels, the travel-related, the retail of many stripes, and all these other areas that were weak got much, much more weak, while the strong stuff was squashed. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% drops in hours in leading growth names. Why? Because the president put out a tweet about China and how they were going to look to put big tariffs on China because of what China was doing with something called rare earth materials or metals, whatever you want to call it. And the market swooned big time into 4 o'clock. Now, if it wasn't a news-driven event, we would have been on this show telling you the market had topped. Up next. But it was a news-driven event. That's up next on this, the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. So, let me repeat. As you know, what we do is we recognize bear markets and bull markets, tops and bottoms, ascension or descension, uptrends and downtrends. And on Friday, the market had shown a big top. Heavy volume selling off the highs, the weak really getting weaker, the not so weak breaking down, the strong coming in hard, volume heavy as all hell. But we knew it was because of another tariff threat. Here are the facts of what happened. Number one, we have precedent that when the market swoons because of tariff threats, they get rid of the tariff threats. How do we know this? Because in April, we were swooning because of the threats, and then they came out with the tariffs, and the market dropped 10% in 2 days to a close on Friday. The market had a meltdown over 2 days, and that was after a drop. That weekend, they definitively were in the White House screaming at each other, what the hell just happened here? And they made the decision to unwind what they came out with on that Wednesday after the close, and that was the Liberation Day tariffs that caused things to unwind and commerce to stop. We heard news, this was reported, Amazon stopped deliveries, auto companies stopped deliveries. Of course they're going to stop deliveries because they don't know what the hell's going on. How much are they going to pay in taxes for everything they import? So they decided to roll everything back on Monday with whatever excuse they can come up with. But on Monday morning, it got leaked that there was going to be, quote unquote, a pause. So they held off. On the leak, the markets rallied like 2,000 points in like a minute. Sarcasm. Half hour to an hour. And then nothing happened. So on Tuesday, the markets got hit again. Wednesday came the pause, rally up. Week later, we get a confirmation follow-through day. That was April 24th, and we're off to the races. And what have we gotten since? Exemption after exemption after exemption after exemption, drops and drops and drops and drops to the point where there's like these 10 and 15% tariffs on these nations, which, by the way, as we promised you, get worked around. That's not hard, especially big companies. Walmart goes to China and says, okay, here's the deal. We're buying trillions of bucks from you guys. And guess what China does? They meet them. And no effect. Even though Walmart had to raise prices on some things. Who gets hurt? The small business. But we never hear back from the small businesses. And every now and then there'd be an uh-oh moment. The president's mad at Brazil because they're mean to the ex-president. So here's a 50% tariff on coffee, which is a huge mistake. Oh, they exempted. Apple goes to the White House and kisses the butt of the president. You're exempt. NVIDIA goes to the White House, kisses the butt, makes up, hey, we're going to buy this and buy that and do this and exempted. So the tariffs ended up meaningless. Very little. And the markets off of 168 rate cuts by central banks around the globe go north. Until Friday. Boom. After the close on Friday, it comes out that they are going to tariff China 100% on top of what they already have, which is insanity because I can promise you this. If the president ever put 100% tariff on China and it went into effect and kept it there just for a month, 1 month, the market would be down 20%. The economy would slow down to a crawl, if not downright contraction of proportion. And after he announces the 100%, the market drops even more. So we were down 860 and 820. And then after the close, I believe the Dow was down another 400. Something to that effect. But within a couple of hours, nice. They didn't even wait. They came out. No doubt the phone calls are out there. Did you see the freaking market, sir? So all of a sudden, Harsh rhetoric too. China's our friend. We'll work it out. We did November 1st to input the 100% tariff. That way it can get worked out before that happens. And the markets over the weekend gap up a crap load. Simple as that. Forgiven. In fact, today the Dow 45,984 was pretty much up 400 right near the open, give or take. Give or take. The NASDAQ gaps up. If I can find it. NASDAQ gapped up to, let's see, 22.6. Gapped up 400. And there's your story today. The week bounced. Some bounced pretty good, but overall remain weak. But the strength, and let me be clear about my thought, very surprised how the strength got so strong so quickly the next day. And what do we mean by that? The semiconductors got back 350 points, 315 points today. That's a lot. 315 points of about the 450. The NASDAQ got 490 points back of about the 820. The Dow got back 587 of, I think it was 860. And remember those leading groups we were telling you about? AI and AI related in semiconductors, data storage, data centers, the energy for the data centers and the construction of data centers, they went ape blank to the upside today, where some stocks got back all of Friday, others did not. And that for me is a big wow. That for me, a surprise. That for me tells me how temperamental and fragile markets are. And that for me hopefully tells me they learned another lesson. The leading stocks and leading groups were in fuego today. Back up. Mostly just getting back most or a portion of Friday. Will it continue higher from here? How's this for a certain answer? Don't know. But we certainly know where the strength is. It's not hard to hide it. Do I worry about big down day, big up day? Oh, we have another big down day coming. Not if he doesn't go nuts again on the tariffs. That's the story. The other part of the story is financials got back a bunch, even though regionals don't look good, other areas don't do good, but big banks, most of them held support and moving averages, but guess what? They all report this week. We'll know a lot more on them. Up next, more on these markets and whatever else. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I believe it was Thursday. I wrote down in my notes, I am 99% sure gold has topped for now and will probably correct for weeks. I never say 100 because 100's not smart. I said 99. The GLD was up $9 today. I sold my gold. I made $55 big dollars in 5 weeks. And I said, boy, nice offensive sell. Bounced up on Friday because the market got hit, and I'm thinking I'm okay. Up $9. I'm not in gold right now. I'm pissed. We'll see if I can catch it again. Gold and silver. That's on the move. But I also want, by the way, I want to backtrack. Tomorrow morning, BlackRock, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo. In that Dow is Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, but also Johnson & Johnson's reporting in the Dow, and I got to just say Domino's Pizza. Did I ever tell you the Domino's Pizza story? When I was in college, we used to get Domino's Pizza from Fletcher Avenue at University of South Florida. And I even said to my roommates, we should get a couple of these Domino's pizzas and own them. We didn't do it. What an idiot. You know what the other one was? Storage. We had this storage unit. I forgot the name of that company at the time. What an idiot, didn't do that either. We were on to 2 big things, didn't do it. Oh well. But Domino's. On Wednesday, Bank America, Morgan Stanley, PNC Bank, Synchrony Financial. So we got big bank week. On Wednesday after the close, Synovus Financial. On Thursday, Bank of New York, Schwab, KeyCorp, M&T Bank, Travelers, that's insurance in the Dow, U.S. Bank Corp. Friday, American Express, Fifth Third Bank Corp, Huntington Bank Shares, Regions Financial, State Street Bank, and Truist, and a small one, Webster Financial. So it's going to be a big bank week. They're all just great bookies, so I doubt there's going to be any disasters. Just remember what they are. They're bookies. They take in your money, they pay you less and lend out more. They're great bookies. God bless them. That's the other thing I should have done. Anyway. It just feels, notwithstanding the most news-driven environment we've ever had out of D.C., Friday's kind of forgotten. The bearish areas will remain bearish, and the good news is we don't have to worry about them. The bullish areas got really bullish quickly today after getting smoked on Friday. I can actually excuse myself from doing a little bit of selling on Friday without naming names because I may buy them back. There's a couple of things I sold that were up decently today. I can't blame myself for that. Why? If they didn't make nice over the weekend, I think we would have been down another 500 to 1,000 today. But I have to add another part of the equation. They are ramping the living crap out of the froth and speculation. I went to the new yearly high list early today, and I listed I'm up to 48 names that are at new yearly highs and vertical new yearly highs. No sales, or a couple of million in sales with massive losses, and market caps anywhere from 2 billion up to 25 billion in quantum computers, in nuclear, in drones, in robo-taxis, in Bitcoin mining. How many Bitcoin miners are there going to be? So just letting you know, excessive froth and speculation at any price. And now we can add rare earth materials, metals. That's the China thing. Go read about it. They are ramping the crap out of rare earth. I got one sitting in front of me that just went from 19 to 38 in 6 days. They have no sales. They are giving it a $3.1 billion market cap. Here's another one. Now, this one's a little bit different. No sales. It seems that the administration may be taking a position in it. So let's add rare earth. Where these things stop, we don't know. We'll just give you the old line. Don't be the last one in. I'm jealous. I've got a quantum stock in front of me that has no sales, that just went from 18 to 55 in 5 weeks. No sales. $16 billion market cap. Not making this up. And do recall I mentioned one to you that was up 22% today. No sales, and has been public for 25 years with no sales. Nuclear was up 22% today. Let me repeat. It has been public since 2001, and when it came out with all the splits was $4,000 price. It closed at $27 today. I can't tell you they won't go higher. I can't tell you they won't double, triple, quadruple from here. I can't say this. Don't be the last one in. When the music stops, there will be no chairs. And that's our take. What a day. I can't wait to scan this sucker tonight. That all said, you have a great evening. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Stay well. Be well. Love, not hate. We all have the same color blood. Don't forget that. Have a good one, everybody. Peace out all until tomorrow. Bye-bye.